Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Stories of Miracle Manifesting. We're here today to share about how to create miracles in your own life, but more importantly, how people have done that already. Now, this is a story time, so I want you to look. This is what I got from my kids. Uh, so go ahead and get your cup of coffee or cup of tea, sit back and relax and listen to stories. This is story time. Well, first, I wanted to share a little bit with you about the idea of miracles. So miracles are not something new, like we've heard them from biblical days and back in our past and so forth. But there's a new thing that's happening right now that with the new science, that miracles are. So first, let me share this description with you, this definition. So the dictionary says, share screen. This is the definition of a miracle. A miracle, a surprising and welcome event that is not explicable by natural or scientific laws and is therefore considered to be the work of a divine agency. Now, the thing is, however, as I say down there, however, this is no longer the truth. Because of understanding quantum physics, basically, scientists have begun realizing how things are happening by divine agency, if you will, and being able to prove it and even replicate it through scientific knowledge. So this is a really exciting time in our world right now, because we are able to begin creating miracles at choice when we want them now, instead of just by chance. And actually, that's how things started for me. So here's the first part of the little story, was that all my life, I have been a miracle maker. And even my father, on my wedding video, it says, Christi was always way out there in left field, but she always comes up smelling like roses. And that was because I was a dreamer and I made my dreams come true. In fact, I was talking to my husband the other day and I said, "Oh, one of my superpowers is making things happen." And before it used to be miracles. Now that I have learned the system, it was a download I got in my personal development work of how miracles are manifested. And I did this just for myself, because instead of having miracles just, big, I always called them big miracles happen, I wanted to know how to create everyday miracles and really live my life from from a harmony of being in a vibrational frequency with the universal laws, with universal principles. And that is what I teach. I teach universal principles, tried and true principles that are at work all the time, no matter where we are, what we're doing, and even what we're believing. So I one of my fun stories is about dinosaurs. So long time ago, there was dinosaurs that stomped on the earth, and even pterodactyls that flew. And yet they didn't know how. They didn't even have pretty much a consciousness, right? But guess what? The ability to manifest miracles, even the ability to fly, aviation, and the physical principles were in existence back then. But it was through our evolution that came to the point where we began to learn how to fly. The laws of aviation were discovered. They always existed, though. This is my point to this story. They always existed. And now as we accelerate through quantum physics and other scientific facts, we are beginning to learn how to be more in, I like to call it deliberate, to be more deliberate about how we live our lives. We are only at, here you go, we are only at the effect of the past knowledge if we choose to not create a vision for our future. And that is step number one in miracle manifesting. And it is the most important step because we have all kinds of beliefs and stories about I mean, anytime you make a decision that is not based on a future vision, it really is a replay of your past. But most of us don't realize that. So it is about an awareness. Now, I'm going to share a video right now that I recorded of myself. It was a talk that I did for a group, but it was really talking about, this isn't to be bragging, this is doing this technology. It really is about, even though I'm talking about myself, I'm really talking about, in fact, I noticed in my blogs kind of come through to me as well. And one of them was called If I Can Do It, Anyone Can Do It. And that's the purpose of this video. So I'm going to share with you, because it's like, it's a good morning little story here. Okay, here we go. Push that and go there. Let me tell you about my life. I've been married over 30 years to the most kind and gentle man. He not only treats me like a queen, he treats me like a princess. You know, the fun part of being in love. And we've been married for over 30 years. We've traveled to over 30 countries in our lives. We've lived in a 4,400 square foot house overlooking the Pacific Ocean. We have, like I said, traveled the world. We have lived a lovely life. We've lived in Italy with our son when he was in preschool. And my husband loves his job so much that I can't get him to plan on retirement or relifement yet. And also, I started a nonprofit for teens where I took them traveling to foreign countries. I've taken them to Namibia, Africa to work with the Cheetah Conservation Fund. I've taken them to the rainforests of Guatemala to do side-by-side work there. I've taken them to Jamaica to work in the in the Blue Mountains of Jamaica, all of these to do service work side by side and for cultural understanding. And I work with hundreds of women right now to help them transform their lives. I do this through my coaching, through art therapy, and through adventure and being an adventurous person. So that's just a few of the miracles that I have manifested. Now, I want to share with you today my $250,000 manifestation. And this is an event that, and it was the pivotal moment when I said, this is so cool. I want to do this all the time. And it is where we decided that we wanted to build a granny unit, now called an ADU, accessible dwelling unit, in our backyard for our son and his new bride. And we didn't have it, it didn't look like we had access to the money to do this, but we knew that it was a divine idea. And so we set out, and this is part of how miracles are manifested. We believed that it was the thing to do. It was the next step. And so I called my sister. So one of the things to do is to leave no stone unturned. You do everything possible. You take the actions in the direction. Now, I'm not saying you go in debt to do this, but I'm saying you go in a direction that of positivity. And so my I called my sister and I said, "Hey, you want to invest in us building a unit on our property?" And I would, she would be a part owner. And she said, "No, but she'd do a loan for us of $15,000." So we took that $15,000 and we hired an architect, got the blueprints made, got the permit into process, and found a contractor, and were able to retain a contractor. My husband was freaking out. He's like going, "Where are we going to get the money to do this?" And I just said, "Is it something we're supposed to do?" And he said, "Yes." And he basically believed in my belief. And one day he comes home and he goes, "I got a call from my brother today." "Oh, really? What did he say?" He said, "Have you ever felt like you won the lotto?" Now, his parents had passed over 5 years prior to this. We had already gotten all of our inheritance from them, the insurance payouts and everything. But from Prudential, which was their insurance company, the payment showed up for $500,000 into and my brother-in-law was notified that it was half for Jerry and half for Dennis. And that money was split down the middle. There was no name attached. He even asked the agent, "Can you find where this came from?" There was no name of who the sender was. We're guessing, but it doesn't even matter, right? It was 5 years ago that we had closed out the previous Prudential account, and et cetera, et cetera. This came when we had the belief that to move in the direction. Now that was twice as much money as we needed to build the ADU, or almost twice as much. And so this is, and so then I took that idea and I said, "Wow, how can I do this instead of just on these big things? How can I incorporate this in my everyday life, creating everyday miracles?" And so I work with a colleague. We actually do trades with each other. And I said that to her one day, and she guided me through discovering 7 steps to creating miracles, to manifesting miracles. And I did this for me. And then I was talking to one of my BFFs, and she goes, "You got to share this with the world." So that is actually where this class came from. Now, I have with me today Jenny, and she, if it's okay with you, I need to remove this pin. I'm going to invite you to share your experience because she has just completed the 8-week course and is taking it again. And let's hear why, and maybe a story of miracles that she has experienced. Okay, go ahead and unmute yourself, Jenny, and I think you will become the speaker.
Hello. Hi. Yes. Where do I begin? I took the course because a friend of mine who has taken it a couple times said, "You really should talk to this lady," because I was talking about, I just can't make this, just not, it's not working. And I think the thing that I got from it right away was this concept of something you've mentioned, future memory. And it was something that struck me, and I thought, future memory? Well, that's a little odd. I used to think that, okay, you got to set a goal, and then you got to create a vision board, and then you got to do all this stuff. And what I learned, I'm still learning. I have to practice a lot, a lot. But I'm learning that when you do that, all that stuff that they talk about, vision board and creative goal statement and all that stuff, you almost don't really believe in it. It's like you're wishing and hoping that that's going to happen, but there's no guarantee. It may or may not. You might get lucky and you might have a miracle that falls out of the sky. But what this course has taught me so far, the first time, is that I think I'm sure I did that all in sort of a state of, well, we'll just throw it out there and hope it happens. And that's where I found the area I need to work in. And that's it, is to actually put myself in there and believe that it's already happened. And now I just have to catch up with it.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So the fun thing about your story here is that you could enter this not believing. And each one of us has had miracles in our lives at various times. But when we start proving it and start living, so the future memory is creating a vision that you feel, taste, sense, experience. And actually, this time around in the course, I am actually providing another new tool to help in the arena, like you were speaking about, uh, Jenny, Jeannie, Jenny,
Jenny.
Jenny, yes. I was,
That's okay. Jeannie, Jenny, Jenna,
yeah,
it's all
yeah.
kinds of stuff.
No, Jenny, is that that we forget to be in that vibrational frequency of knowing the future, of creating, designing a future. And when we don't do that, everything we are basing our new thoughts on are actually on past memories. And I in that last blog I put in, it's like, if no, there was another one, is anyway, it doesn't matter. The idea is that if you don't deliberately change those past beliefs or replace them, which is much easier once you know the system and the experience, then then you kind of you create proportionally to how much your vibration has changed. So I'm going to share, thank you, Jenny, that I'm going to share with you another video here. Get here on my screen, and this is of Ellen, and Ellen has not only taken the mini courses with me, but she's also done private work with me. And so I'm going to share with you her little story about being in this work. Yeah, unmute yourself. Yeah. And tell about either one of the tools or some of the results that you had, and going through the course. And Ellen and I have worked on a private basis as well.
Yeah, one of the things, like, really that I still treasure, Christi does these life designs. So the very first drawing that you do, and I have this gorgeous one with big hummingbirds, and it's just, I was looking at it today, and it just has such a vibration, and it's really your life design. So you're representing that vibration of your highest version of yourself. And
I'll show it right here.
Oh, you have it?
I got it. I can pull it.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look how gorgeous that is.
Here's the hummingbirds. Here's the hummingbirds. This is the group of people that are here to hear about her wisdom, her various little circles, her travel, and her little
house in North Carolina. That's kind. Yeah. So anyway, that's just beautiful, and the vibration of that. I don't know, and just so many things working with Christi. I have to say, like, a lot of the things that, like you said, unconscious things that I didn't know were there still or whatever, and just working through them in a fun way, kind of, but and really helped move me forward. And also in the class, what I loved is we really worked on the vision. And well, I've been a good manifester and doing my own miracles all my life, but Christi helped me up level a lot of those things. So for instance, a funny thing that happened was in my vision that we did in Christi's class. We did very specific things, but one of them I was talking about traveling, and I was like, and my husband and I have gone to Spain and Portugal and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, then it started coming up recently. We were going to go to Spain, and we're kind of going to meet somebody there. And then one day my husband comes home, he's like, I just decided I think we're going to do Portugal. I've really been wanting to do Portugal. So it really became like what was in the vision. It was like Portugal and Spain. So so just creating, and we've been creating like the house stuff, changes in my house that I've been wanting to do for a long time. A lot of things have been unfolding, but really just also a sense of feel like more confident in everything that, going through, which has been really helpful as I've been going through a lot of changes in my business and everything else. So yeah, and Christy's just always fun and cheerful and so authentic, and she practices what she preaches.
Thank you, Ellen. That's fabulous. So I want to also show you I'm going to just give you one tool today so that you can have a takeaway. And then I'll tell you about the course, and then I'll play one more story for you. So one of the very important tools is an understanding of how thoughts work and how we run our lives. So I call this the iceberg effect. Okay. And so this is like an iceberg, and this is like the ocean here. And all of our conscious thoughts and everything that we do and run our lives from generally comes from this little core piece of our existence. But what is happening down here is, first of all, our childhood beliefs, our midlife beliefs. Oh my gosh, high school, right? And then as we go on into relationships and all of these things, those are the beliefs that are actually dictating what is being created up here on the surface level. And so the idea is, and just this image of this tool, what if you are here today, and one of the things that that Jenny didn't share with is that now she is like rocking and rolling in her business, and that's because when she was in the class before, she was standing here having maybe not quite the success that a little bunny ears up there. She was not quite expecting, this was her life at the time. They were coming from these thoughts, but not consciously without her. And even though she was doing creations and vision boards and things like this, they were still governed by this unseen part of our subconscious. And so there's two things that you can do with this unconscious. One is you can bring a belief to the surface, examine it, and then replace it. And you do that several times to practice bringing the thoughts from the past. What is holding me back? Where am I stuck? And that's actually step number 3. And once you do that over and over again, then you actually can then skip the bringing it to the surface and just go, oh, something's not working that's aligning with my vision, whatever it is. Now you get to say, whatever it is, I get to replace it with my future memory, my future vision. Okay. And we'll call it future vision here. And you just say, oh, actually, the truth of me now is, so here's an example. Let's say that you wake up in the morning and you're disappointed. You don't have anything on your calendar today, and it's looking like maybe what you in the past would have called a failure day, right? And now today you wake up and now you say, oh, I've practiced enough to know that that's some belief back here. And instead, I'm going to call this an exciting open day. And what can I do creatively in my life today? And actually, I do have some work, but I had a cancellation today. And at first I was going wah, wah, wah. And then I'm doing my own work, right? And I say, oh, yeah, I get to go. And one of the things I've done recently is I've set up the kiln in my studio and I've been
Oh,
playing with clay and I have been getting ready to do my first load of clay. And so I now with that cancellation, instead of going, oh, my work isn't succeeding, I say, oh, I get to go play clay until my other client shows up. So it's like we get to start learning how to first using the idea of revealing those belief systems. And once we get the habit of doing that, then we can just say, oh, what's a new thought? This isn't taking me, that thought was not waking up this morning and I woke up to a text of the cancellation, right? And it was like, meh, meh, meh. And and my practice now is to go, oh, I can feel that doesn't feel good. So what do I want to replace it with? Now, most of us just go along and believe that that's how our day's going to go. So, I am going, so the class starts next Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And you are invited to enroll for the course. And because you've listened to this or attended today, you can do, I'm offering, and I'm just not gonna go through all of the benefits. If you want to talk to me, you can go to Christi, uh, Christi at Mastering the Art of Life, and that's CHRISTI at Mastering the Art of Life. And you're gonna get part of that and you can talk to, let me know you want to talk to me, see about it. Or if you're ready to enroll, I have a premium program which includes 2 of the intuitive wisdom drawing sessions. It starts with the life design, like that Ellen was talking about. And then it comes with one additional problem solving. So where are you stuck? What's in your way? And then also once a month, there's a time, money, freedom mastermind group, which you get to come to, where I do little mini drawings and help people discover their masterpiece in where they discover answers to their own problems. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's the premium, and it's it's $1,000 program. But because my vision, my mastery, my work in the world is to bring it to people, I'm offering the premium course for $397. But to come into the premium at the basic cost, which is basically the 8-week course, and you also get the homework templates and the recordings and all of that in the basic, I'm going to make it $297 for you. And this is the code. I'm going to, hopefully this shows up in the recordings as well. If not, you will get it when it the replay gets sent out. But you can there's the sign up link right there, masteringtheartoflife.com/MMA week. The 8-week course right there, and put in premium for basic. And if you want to just do the basic, there's a pull down tab that you click on for basic, and you can do that for $297. So that is how and it's 8 weeks. The first week is an introduction, and then we have each week goes through a different step. And this time, another one of my major downloads is looking at how I can support my clients more. There's going to be a bonus gift that everyone gets starting the first week, that they're going to be able to use that tool throughout the time and ongoing, to help them really learn to manifest their vision. So let me play, I'd love to see you there. Let me play one more video. Let me cue it up here first. And this is of somebody who really had was really in a stuck place, and um, and
I began my first class.
So, and really had a shift and is now actually fulfilling her life future vision. Okay. Okay, here we go. This is Colleen. Let me back it up just a bit. Okay.
When I began my first class, I came from a position of being a victim of circumstances regarding the events that brought much sorrow to my life. Now, after the creative thinking classes, I can now see how I can change this perspective and fulfill what seems unreachable. By changing my thought and knowing the process, the tools, how my thoughts together with my emotions leads to action that will result in manifestation. So I have raised my vibrational frequency and believe I can achieve my vision. I mean, I actually was just doing a real truthful evaluation of myself and what's been holding me back. That I'm coming from a position of being a victim. And I said, I really got to fix this because, how do I get this inspiring book out there if I'm feeling like I'm a victim? That's not the right type of thinking. I did some soul searching. And so I'm in a better position, but it's a work in progress. Yeah, so I feel like the class has changed me. I feel like I've got a ways to go, but this is a start, a start that I couldn't find for a very long time because I thought that I wasn't going to do this book.
So, the important thing about that is that this was an event that happened 30, probably now 32 years ago for her. And she was living her entire life for 32 years, holding on to blame and shame, but especially to blame and blaming other people. And it actually was a very core part of this book that is writing that is really going to be beneficial. And she was saying to me, I don't know that just telling the content is enough. And I said, well, you have a new experience now of changing being a victim to being empowered. And she goes, oh yeah, that's even more I can add to my book, right? And it's actually beneficial to other people. So I would love to see you at this course. If you have any questions, you can email me at Christi@masteringtheartoflife.com. And if you want to just sign up, right there's the link. There's a pull down tab for your options, or you can put in premium for basic and you will get a discount on the course. And you will get that new special bonus that, Jenny, you're going to love it. It's really going to accelerate your experience and everyone's experiences. And I'm already practicing with this tool that I'm going to be sharing with you myself. So, okay, everybody, thank you for listening. And I look forward to seeing you next week in Miracle Manifesting. Take care.
Thank you.